Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss a how-to on how to make tarps for your car. And here you see that I've made one. This is made out of tissue paper with Elmer's glue. And then I will take the Tamiya chalks and brush them on there. And I took some of the Panaline accent color and just puddled it around. And added some twine on it and some, I don't know, little things I got at this kind of stuff I got at Hobby Lobby. And again, tarps can be whatever you want them, so you can't really screw them up. You just keep on going. You make a mess out of them, you just keep on going. So that's the one. I'm going to show you another one. So here's one I'm currently working on. You can see I have one side done. And then I already started painting the pastel. This is what I'm going to do in blue. I already started painting the pastel on it. And again, we can trim this later and do whatever we want with it. We want to make it shorter or taller. So that one I'm currently working on. So what we're going to use is Elmer's glue all. I prefer the Elmer's regular glue. This is a little thicker, but we're going to water it down. So I have a brush, I have some Elmer's glue, I got some water, and I'm kind of mixing them together. All right, so here we got a beater that I'm pulled out of the trash that I have. Now I'm going to use usually tissue paper is double ply. So I'm going to show two ends. The first end I'm going to do is going to be, this is single ply. And again, you can graft pieces onto this, like just glue it right into it. So it's not a big deal. So we're going to do some single ply first, and then we'll do on the back half, we'll do some double ply. So you're just going to go in here and you're just going to, actually there I have it doubled over. You're just going to be very carefully kind of you're just going to cover it. You want, and you know, when you do this, you can do a half a car, you can do a quarter of, you don't have to cover the whole car. You kind of want it, and even if you poke holes in it, you can go back and patch it in with little pieces of tissue paper, or you can let the holes in it and use that like, you know, it's got holes in it. This particular one I have on foil underneath. The last one I did, the blue one, I have on wax paper. I don't know which is better. Or you can just do it on your desk, I guess. You can, it doesn't really matter. You know, you just want to make sure you cover all of it with glue. You want your, and then I'll use I'll cover this with pastels. That blue one I used Vallejo blue, but I'm probably gonna mix some lighter blues and darker blues and put on it. And of course I got to dirty it up, but so you know, you're just gonna cover this car basically with glue, and you don't have to use Elmer's glue. I don't see why you couldn't use some other glue, but so it's pretty, you know, it's pretty easy, not much to it. And then as a beginner, you might want to do the double ply. We're going to put some double ply back here. It might be a little bit easier because it's a little thicker. Again, I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, you could trim this up where the tarp isn't covering the whole car. But you can see you can kind of blend that in until you put some weathering on that. You know, and I'm sure there's other ways of doing this. It's just kind of the way I didn't even see anybody doing this. I mean, I know people do tarps. I don't know how they do them. I just thought it was kind of cool, and I kind of went with it. And now I kind of like it. But I did 2 in gray, and I need to do a different color. Hence I'm doing the one with. And I'm not going to sit here and do this whole thing. At least not on camera. I might go ahead and do this and come back in a couple minutes. Let's do that. Let me just get some more on here so you can kind of see it better. Okay, so I did decide. So you can pretty much see, you know, I'm not worrying about this. I'm just showing you the side, but yeah, you can have some big wrinkles in it. You can fold the corners over. You can tuck it underneath. You just want to try to be a little careful that you don't, you just give it a shape that you want. So that's pretty much what that is. Now we're going to go back to the blue one. We're going to paint a little blue on the other one that I already have started. So hang on a minute. We'll be right back. Now, if you're impatient like me, you can, when you have your car completely covered or half covered or whatever you want to do, if you have a dehydrator, I threw mine in the dehydrator. It just speeds up the process. And again, this is just going to be my base color. I'm going to be going in, and I think if you use a single ply, it's a little close on some of the details. Probably the double ply is better, a little thicker. You could actually double it up too. You can make it even thicker to make it look like more like a thicker tarp, which might even look better. I haven't tried that, but again, you can't, to me, you can't screw this up. You just, you know, weathering is, I used to really be intimidated by weathering. Now, I don't know if I get it. I don't know if I do it like the professionals do it, but I just kind of keep on going with it until I get a look that I like. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you with painting all this, but I'll be doing all this here. We're going to look, we're going to throw some chalks on it just so you can kind of see what's going on. You know, and even if you put chalks on it and you don't like what you see and you want to put some more pastel paint on it, you can just go back and just, you know, go back over this. So you can see I was mixing water with this, so there's some lighter spots and such. Let's get some chalks out. Hold on. So I have the Tamiya Weathermaster chalks. I have the sand, light sand and mud. I have rust, soot, and snow. And I have orange, rust, gunmetal, and silver. So, and you can use these in any combination. And you can use these dry. You can use them wet. I mean, it really doesn't matter. So we're just gonna throw a little bit on here. Let's do some lighter stuff too. I may go back and, because I'm in the south and fading, I may fade the whole top of the whole top of this. I'm not sure yet, but like I said, you can't screw this stuff up. You're just, you know, rubbing it in and doing other things. Let's get some darker stuff. Let's get some soot and stuff. You can make this thing really dirty. Oops, I guess I should not grab that side since it's wet. Again, doesn't matter. I mean, you definitely want it on the edges and stuff. So you're just layering different things. You want to use panel liner. I have panel liner in a couple different colors. You can put some. You can do some orange on here, like rust. Yeah. And just let it run. Now this is going to be shiny for a while, but somewhere down the line it's going to dry, be more flatter. I'll probably come back and show you another video once I get this thing done. But again, weathering is, I don't know, it's kind of subjective to me anyway. You know, just put some stains up here. Well, other one, I put some bird poop on it. This might have been sitting somewhere where they had, you know, you can do some down here. I love this stuff, putting this stuff on. Like I said, you just can't go wrong. Like I said, I'm not gonna do this whole thing, but you definitely want some of this stuff down there, especially in South Carolina where they got all this clay. You know, water sits on the bottom of this. You can put some epoxy in there, some clear epoxy, and make some water holes. You know, some puddling of water. There's orange rust. That looks a lot like clay. You know, you can just highlight edges. That's where a lot of that's going to be. You know, or you can use the other end with the brush. Just dirty that whole thing up. You really can't go wrong. I don't think so. That's kind of what that's. Like I said, I'll probably go back in after this puddling and stuff dries. Once the whole car is dry, which apparently it's not, you know, I'll go in and do more. Actually, I want to make it wet too. I mean, the dirtier you make it, this adds to the age of it. Probably around like highlights. And puddles at the bottom. So that's pretty much what this was about. So it's clearly what you can see. What I use, which is pretty much what this one was. I don't know, let me know what you think, if you like the gray better than the blue. I already did two in gray. I should show you my other one. Hold on, I'll show you I made a diorama out of one of them. I'll show you that one too. Hang on a minute. So this is my Cadillac. Oh, look. There's the official order rake. This is a styrofoam base. These are popsicle sticks with the ends cut off. The fence in the back. Hang on, I'm gonna move. The fence in the back is made out of wooden coffee sticks, starter sticks. And then my little, wait, I need my pointer. My little signs I got off of internet and printed them out, reduced them and printed them out. And then these hubcaps, hold on, let me see if I can. I thinned them down. Oh, this is horrible. You guys are gonna like. I thinned these hubcaps down and actually opened up all the holes on it, like a hubcap would be. So I really thinned them down. I put little hooks in here and then hung these hubcaps, but they've all been thinned down and holes added for the holes are added for the where the valve stem would be through them, and a little wash added on them. And these are just older hubcaps. So that's kind of that one. I'm going to move the camera again. Hold on. So this one turned out pretty good. I like this one. It's my only diorama, my first and only. But the dry shaft, I made the yoke. I pinned the yoke so it actually moves. Not that anybody would. The drum brake is, that's resin. I got a chain. The bird poop is just a, let me see if I can find it here. It's just a white pen, like a paint pen that I put that on there. Those stones and other stuff is from Hobby Lobby. That's that panel liner. You can see I put a bunch there. This one I did some grays on this one too. The one in blue I'm gonna be putting some different color blues and some black washes on there too. You just water them down and you can dry brush a little bit. Dry brushing is when you take your paintbrush. Let me show you. Say you have paint on your paintbrush and then you just, you know, really get the paintbrush dry. You know, hold on here. So when I say dry brushing, the paintbrush needs to be almost dry. So, you know, you're just hitting highlights when you're hitting all these little things. So when you're dry brushing, you want very minimal amount of paint. Like you want it about like that, where it's not a ton of paint. You don't want it like this, you want it more like this. So you can dry brush these areas. That's going to be about it. So let me know what you think. If you like blue or gray, or maybe a green, any color would work. I think tarps come in all different kinds of colors. I know this is kind of not what I normally do, but I did do this one, which I think is pretty cool. It doesn't get a lot of attention, but I think it's pretty cool for my first diorama. The stones and stuff are glued on there from Hobby Lobby. They have, if you're ever in their modeling department, if you turn around, actually they have some diorama things on the back. And it's just a piece of styrofoam mounted on the piece of styrofoam. And the fence is just glued together with Elmer's glue. Not too, again, washes. You just keep working at it until you get an effect that you like. But that's kind of where I went with mine. I do have some epoxy in the tires too that, I don't know if you can see it or not. I guess you can't see it. To make it look like there's puddling of water inside the tires. So got some chain on there. Kind of cool. This was an Ollie's special. The Ghostbusters. I guess it was a shark, surf shark. I guess that's what it was. It's cheap. I didn't know what to do with it. I don't know why I bought it, but I knew I wasn't going to build it. But I thought this was a good way of utilizing it and making something cool out of it that I'd never done. So don't be afraid to try something out of your wheelhouse. You know, give it a try. You never know. All right, that's going to be it. Thanks.